Your arm snapped. Your bone cracked.
My body's like, I was trying to tell my mom the other day, I was like, Mom, my left elbow hurts. And she looked at me funny. She's like, you probably have tennis elbow. You're using it too much. I'm like, no, I sleep on my left side. And she's like, I bet you do. I'm like, Mom, please. I actually hurt. No, I'm right-handed. It actually hurts, like a lot.
But you write with your left hand.
I know.
But
I'm the Shakespeare of...
You do the deed with the right hand?
Yeah. You gotta pinch hit sometimes,
You don't switch it up?
I switch it up, but not when my elbow hurts.
This is why we have the explicit tag.
We do. Welcome, everybody.
This is
Last Man In, episode 68. Also known as the Michael Hoffman episode, because I can't think of anyone else prevalent who wears number 68.
Person. No one.
Not that man who used to have a flow of gold.
He's bringing that flow of gold back. That guy who tags 18-year-olds and doesn't care about it because he's awesome. I want $2,000. Why don't you just tweet the picture there, Toots? Like, that's probably what he said.
I want money from you, Yammer. Oh, okay. Well, I don't care. Like,
I'm not married. I don't have kids. I don't know what you're saying.
Who's going to be upset by this photo other than your boyfriend?
And everyone is behind him like, oh, this is amazing. It turned into yoggering. Like, it turned into a meme. People went to Instagram and started doing their own yoggering. And, like, someone behind them. It was just ridiculous. So what are we covering on this episode? So I have to make notes to make sure we touch bases on that, because we suck at it. Go.
The Jets played this week.
Okay.
A few games. You're not going to jot that down? Jot that down.
Okay, jotted. Jotted down.
If we forgot that, we'd be in trouble.
Cameron went to a Moose game, so he's going to tell us adventures from the Moose game.
Yeah.
Ovechkin became the highest scoring Russian in NHL history, surpassing Sergei Fedorov, so I want to talk about him.
As if I didn't write that down in my notes.
Way to go.
You're the worst hockey fan.
I even have an OV jersey, and I didn't write that down.
He's a Washington fan every 3 years, and he forgets that.
Yeah, I know.
We're all Washington fans come playoff time.
Yeah, that's true. I'm actually, like, they've got to be number 5 on my list behind the Stars.
Stars and who's 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3 is Toronto, Colorado, Winnipeg.
Stars. I like
Capitals.
how Stars are only recently, but okay.
Ever since my love for Jamie Benn has arose.
Oh, you know, that's what I meant. Yeah, not Mike Modano. Did anyone even like that guy? Like, honestly, Mike Modano?
I think I appreciated what he did as a hockey player.
Yeah. I hated those Star jerseys, like the old green and black. They were awful.
Oh, like the 08 ones. That just said
Mike
Dallas?
the Mike Modano era.
Those are what I wore when I won city championships when I was 11
And do you hate the ones they have now? Because they're not that different.
No, they're beautiful because they're green. No, they're not. The whole jersey is in a star. Ugh.
They're nice jerseys.
Maybe I don't like the CCM style. Yeah, but it was a star at one point, was it not?
Yeah, they had the star down here.
Yeah, now the D is in the star.
Oh, like you're talking like really old.
Yeah, like the 90s.
Because they had one that said like stars that was like green and white.
Yeah,
those were
nice.
Those were okay.
That was a Stanley Cup jersey.
No, that's the one I'm talking about. I don't like those ones.
Oh.
What? No, Dan, you're thinking of the wrong jerseys. The Stars jerseys had stars. It had lines like this, yes.
Yeah, like it made a star. Here, Google it right now. You got time.
Go Dallas Stars 1999.
Okay, so we're talking about that, and what else? Anything else?
Ovechkin, and then Stadium Series jerseys.
A certain hockey player wants to come home.
Yes, we have to touch on Travis Hamonic.
Way to give it away.
You know what?
Ruin the surprise.
We don't know teases here.
Fine.
Except for teases that we don't remember to talk about.
But not everyone might know where home is.
It's where the heart is. We all know that.
Exactly. And there's one more thing I wanted to touch on. But my own brain is not working, so...
It's okay. We're probably only going to get to, like, 2 of those things.
Yeah, so let's just talk about the Jets. You know what? You talk about the Jets, and I'll think about the thing. Oh! That was the thing. Don Cherry calling Leafs goalie James Reimer the best goalie in the NHL right now. So I want to touch on that later as well. And then, obviously, the election quarter of the way through the season.
Don Cherry said something nice about the Leafs?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wouldn't be the first time Don Cherry said something out of his ass, so...
Oh, Jesus.
Actually, there's a lot of statistics to support it, but that's...
It's rhyme time, because
he's had a couple good weeks.
Rhyme time's holding it down. All you need is a couple good weeks, and you get $10 million a year now. So.
Oh, God.
Or at least 4.
You were the first star of the week once, so we're gonna invest.
Yeah, there's some...
oh, damn it. Where did Thorburn finish this week in points? Because holy piss.
All right, let's talk about the Jets.
Jets played the Canucks. They lost 4-1.
Okay.
Nope, they won 4-1.
They won 4-1.
Right. That is correct.
They broke this 6-game losing streak.
Good start.
They did.
Wow, Cam, you're on the ball. That's it. You're off. No, just
You're
go
off the
sit in the
case.
I'm off
corner.
the case?
You're
Go
off
sit in
the
the
case.
corner.
Okay.
Okay, so the Jets played the Canucks, won 4-1. This was highlighted by 2 goals by both Scheifele and Stafford to snap a 6-game losing streak and to start their progress on hopefully regaining themselves back into the playoffs. Then they played at home to the Coyotes Saturday night. And Cameron, you were there. So what happened?
They won.
Oh wait, sorry, I forgot. You got a warning for talking too loud at the game.
I did.
You know.
The first time I've ever gone, I have said some very mean things directed at people and towards Jets fans and everything, and I have never once been warned. And I went to the show. Oh my god!
Yikes.
I went to the game with friend of the show, Brian Svensson. Read his stuff; he's pretty good. I'll tweet his link again. And we're just
dropping.
yeah, we are name dropping. Greg from afar filling up water.
Greg left the studio mid-podcast.
Yeah, our
That's
studio.
how it goes. Studio.
I'm thirsty. Okay.
Now you're making a mess all over the floor.
You almost put water on your waterproof phone. Put it in a cup, Greg.
No.
Submerge it.
I'm not. No, because yesterday I sat on it and it became unwaterproofed.
What?
Yeah, the case broke. I've had it for 2 months. So life-proof
it-
cases are not Greg-proof cases.
No, life-proof cases
Well,
are
no,
life-proof cases,
yeah.
so that means you get a new one. Return it. Just email them. Did you guys ever do that back in the day where you'd call OtterBox and be like, hey, my case doesn't work? You'd be like, oh, what's your address? And they'd send it to you and you get a free one?
What?
Even though you never had an Otter case to begin with?
No.
I did that a couple
They didn't
times.
actually ask for any info or anything?
No, nothing. They never asked for anything. It was sweet. I got 3 new cases. Back to back to back.
I never remember you having
Nice.
an OtterBox.
I never use them. I gave them to people. I never use them. I use Ballistic cases.
I know you do.
Also sponsored by Ballistic. Ballistic, if you make LG cases, please send one my way. I have an LG G4.
Shameless plug.
Please. No.
Okay.
But anyways, I got a
Jets.
warning at the Jets game because there was a kind, nice lady in front of us at the end of the first, turns around and says, hey, could you guys talk a little quieter? We're at a Jets game, and you're just very distracting from watching the game. I was talking the same pace, and we weren't swearing or anything. And then she walked away, and Brian and I just look at each other like, is she aware we're at one of the loudest places in Winnipeg you can be anytime the Jets play? We respected and talked a little quieter, but then a friend of ours who was also with us, the lady decided to partake in a Go Jets Go chant, and he leaned over and said, I think you're cheering a little too loud. And she didn't like
Nice.
that. But she never got up and called bluff on us. So
Nice.
I was shaking in my little booties. I don't like confrontation at all.
Nice. Oh, that's perfect.
Really, for someone who just has such a smart mouth.
I know,
You
I
think
love
you
it,
love
but I don't want to
confrontation.
get... Not when it's the MTS Center. If you get banned from the MTS Center, I can't go to 2/3 of the concerts I go to.
You won't get banned from there, though. I mean,
For talking too loudly.
That'd be hilarious, though. Imagine how, you're taken to the stand. Plead your case? Well, I was just talking. Hey, don't yell at us, sir. It'd be one of those, just reverse, skits. Hey, you're yelling. I'm just, everyone else is yelling. That's where my brain goes. Anyways, the Jets won 3-2 off of, in this game.
We'll talk about it.
Okay,
Just talk about how they won.
what?
We're talking about
Talk
the other
about it.
one?
The
Okay,
Scorburn
Talk about
shorthanded
Chris
goal.
Scorburn Thorburns goal.
Chris Scorburn Thorburn, just a missed flagrant slash. That was a flagrant slash.
He body checked him.
What are you kidding? He went up and under and just can opened him, stole the puck and scored. And then are we leading into this?
He did what he had to do to win the game.
Yeah, that's what he does. It's what he does best. What else happened in this game?
Pavelec got hurt.
Thanks to Mark Stewart.
Thanks to Mark Stewart and Shane Doan for...
I think
going
it's
into it.
a little more Shane Doan's fault.
Get
than
the
Mark Stewart.
piss out of it. Are you shitting me right now?
Okay.
Chris, pull up the video. We have to watch this.
I want you to analyze it. You look how fast...
did!
No. Listen.
Go. Yeah.
You look how fast Shane Doan is moving. You look how lightly Mark Stewart bumps
Mark
him. And you
Stewart
look how...
gives him a good one. And he's from me to you.
Cam's
He's
mind...
from me to you. Am I the only one in the entire world who sees this right now?
Okay, he was
Chris-
he definitely got bumped, but with the size of him and how fast he was going and how hard he got bumped, he could have made an
Don't
effort
shove
to
him
move.
from behind into your
Oh
goalie.
my God.
Are you shitting me?
Okay.
This is insane.
There's no point arguing with him because he only sees things one way.
No, I see many things both ways, but
No.
this one clear cut. Stewart shoved him right into
He shoved him, but he didn't shove him that hard.
And the thing with the Stewart play was, yes, Stewart probably shouldn't have even touched him, but Mark Stewart tried to approach him from the side and push him that way.
He pushed him right into the goal.
No, he tried to push him
anywhere. He
tried to push him away from the goalie.
Right here.
He pushed him on the side of his body, and Shane Doan sold the call, saw the opportunity to go into the goalie and went into the goalie.
He pushed him on the right side, and Pavelec was on Doan's left. So that would be pushing him into the goalie.
Stewart pushed him on the left-hand side, and Pavelec was on the left-hand side.
Yeah, he tried to push him away from Pavelec.
Well, now Pavelec's
I'm not
until
saying
the next 2000 for a month.
I'm not saying Shane Doan should get suspended for it, but I'm saying he could have made an effort to move, and he did not.
I was shocked.
And it's not the first time he's done something dirty.
He's
shocked.
a dirty player. Period. Look at what he did at the end of the fucking game. You
Well,
say that's not dirty?
Bufflin? Yeah, he was.
Whatever, he's coming in. I don't fucking
3
care.
shots all game. Are you shitting me?
I don't care. It's fucking Shane Doan. The guy's a fucking pest. That's what he's made his
he's
career on.
not a pest. He's a face of the franchise.
Yeah, he is, but he's also a pest. He's a Brad Marchand. He's a Brendan Gallagher. That's the way he plays.
So
he plays to get underneath the other team's skin.
On analysis, Thorburn is pure shoulder on the defenseman.
On your analysis.
I think
he went like this. He hit him with the shoulder. His stick went flying sideways, but he didn't slash the guy. His stick just moved. It's the same when
the stick breaks, penalty.
It's the same when
auto penalty.
It's the same,
but it didn't.
It's the same when Bufflin hits Gallagher. His elbow comes up, so all the fucking idiot fans in the world go, he elbowed him in the head. What do you do when you slow it down? You hit him in the shoulder. He's a run.
And his elbow flew up. Okay.
Pavlic's
out for a month.
They looked at it. Did he get
Thank
suspended?
you, Mark Stewart.
No, he didn't.
We'll see how the Connor Hellebuck experience works out.
See, I'm not blaming Mark Stewart. Does he need to make that play? No. Could he have let Shane Doan not do it? Yes.
Doan was out of real estate anyways, so that's why I'm surprised he even touched him.
As the player, you're supposed to make an effort to move, and he did not.
He made more of an effort to make sure his collision
right into him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely
watch it again.
He hit him on.
I gotta be the only person in the whole world who thinks.
Well, okay, because
the seats that we were sitting in were like from who's the other goalie there? Mike Smith?
Smith.
No, who's in net that day? Who's your backup? Anders Lindback.
Anders Lindback.
Not an NHL goalie.
He's awful?
No, I'm not saying Chris Thorburn, because Chris Thorburn, the goals they scored on, awful. Awful goal chances.
Okay. You notice that anytime a Jet makes a good play, the cam it's dirty?
No!
Somehow?
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying like...
Somehow it's dirty.
I was
Something
from Anders
wrong with
Lindback view, from what I saw, man, that was a dirty play on Stewart's behalf. You don't shove a player directly into your
Have you seen the replay?
I was there. I watched the replay.
Have you seen it from the TV
angle? I was one of like 5 people who was sitting down and not going, bro, it's Shane Doan. Boo, Shane Doan. You're like the devil. I was like, he shoved him right into your goalie.
If you want
I'm shocked he got a penalty.
If you want to extrapolate the argument, he got a penalty for it.
Yeah, well, you have to call the penalty when you touch a goalie.
And I was watching post-game on Hockey Night in Canada, and they were saying, not suspension, but they said he looks pretty blatant that he didn't make an effort to move.
I didn't watch.
And it's not the first time he's done that.
On the way
it's not the first time he's done that.
I went to Smitty's on Saturday night, shameless plug, and I was sitting with a group of people we know that we play hockey with. We're all people who play hockey, and we're sitting there and we're talking about. And then that happens, and they all said, "Well, Mark Stewart shouldn't have done that." But at the same time, Shane Doan made it really, really clear that he wanted to go at the goalie, because there was abundance of time for him to get away. Because the contact was made, and literally the contact looked like this.
Yeah, but when you're going fast, momentum's going to carry you into that.
That's
goalie.
fine. The momentum should carry you away from the net, not towards the goalie.
Simple biomechanics. Shane Doan is a lot bigger than Mark Stewart, and Mark Stewart's not pushing very hard.
No.
So with the force that Shane Doan went straight into Pavelec, here's the thing. Pavelec was here. Doan was cutting right at Pavelec. Stewart gave him a little bump, but Doan didn't change his course. He kept going the same way.
Yeah. Exactly.
If Stewart had pushed him, he would have bobbled a little bit and lost his footing a little bit. He went straight
and then
forward.
He would have fell into the goalie.
He wouldn't have fallen into the goalie because Mark Stewart's momentum would have pushed him away from Pavelec.
And the puck would have been covered. Mm-hmm. And Pavelec would still be okay.
Not be injured. But, however...
With a knee sprain.
Let's talk about what happened yesterday, and then I want to make a quick...
I saw no highlights from this, so you guys fill me in if you did.
I wasn't...
The Jets lost...
I was at the game.
Oh, yesterday.
Yeah.
The Jets lost 4-1.
Yeah, they played the first 2 periods. They dominated the game. They had a lot of possession, but they didn't get many shots on net. And then the third period, they just sat back and Colorado came on a little bit.
Basically, what happened with Minnesota a couple weeks ago in Dallas that same week.
Not to use this as an excuse, but the Jets were dominating the game. It was only 1-0, but the possession was heavily in the Jets' favor. I mean,
it's Colorado.
It was heavily in the Jets' favor. They had lots of scoring chances. They had a lot of shots missed the net.
Yeah.
And then with about 3 minutes to go in the second period, they call a penalty on Bufflin, which was extremely weak. And it was the first penalty the Jets had taken all game. The refs hadn't called on anything because they played good. It was very weak. He knocked Matt Duchene over and they gave him a cross-checking penalty just because he's too strong. He didn't cross-check him at all. But regardless, Colorado scores on the power play, and after that, the game was a little different. And then the Jets sat back in the third and cost them. So
good old Matt Duchene drawing penalties.
That's
he's just driving up his stock. Or did you think Joe Sakic and management mentioned that he might get traded, and that's where he's like, oh, I kind of want to stay here. And that's why he's been playing good? Do you think that might be a factor?
Well, I mean,
it's a lot of factors.
It's a kick in the ass when you hear that you're getting traded because you're not playing well. I mean,
but at the same
play
time,
worse and hope to get traded somewhere.
They've got to do something with that team, and it's the same with Edmonton, because as we'll find out later in the show, they're still in the election, and those teams should not be there anymore after having so many top 3 picks.
Okay, Winnipeg's going to be down there pretty quick.
Well, it's interesting, because I looked today before the show started. Jets are 9 points out of last place. They're 9 points ahead of Edmonton right now. We're a quarter of the way through the season, so obviously that'll change as the season progresses. However, yesterday on ESPN, Sean McEnroe, also known as Down Goes Brown, I think I mispronounced his last name, so I apologize for that.
That's awesome. I didn't know his actual name, so go ahead.
He's on 1290 all the time.
Yes, he put something on ESPN saying how the Jets are the most interesting 6th place team in NHL history because they're 6th place in the Central Division, that they are good enough to be a playoff team. However, they're better than the 3rd best team in the Pacific right now.
Being Ed Money?
The only teams ahead of them are LA and San Jose, right?
LA and San Jose. Everyone else in the Pacific is worse than the Jets.
Yeah,
As of him writing that article. So yesterday things could have changed, but I'm not sure what changed. But yeah, so because the Central is so tough, they're a 6th place team. Then he talked about how Pavelec going out could actually bring in the Connor Hellebuck era a little bit sooner, because he says that, and I agree with this comment, that Pavelec's numbers, although that stretch last season was great, they are some of the worst starting numbers in the NHL. So this could be the chance for Winnipeg to actually separate themselves from Pavelec.
What's that stat? I know we talked about it last year, roughly around this time, where like going into the quarter season, if you have a playoff spot, isn't it like something around 85 or 88%?
American Thanksgiving, like 88% of the teams that are in a playoff spot make the playoffs, and that is this Thursday.
Yeah.
So the Jets will.
How far out of the playoffs are they?
We'll check.
Like probably 2 points, 3 points.
So it's
so
totally
if they win
still...
tomorrow night, they.
Who are they playing tomorrow?
Caps
on the road
in Washington.
You know what though? I haven't been impressed with them in the last month at all.
The Jets?
The Caps?
Jets.
Oh no, neither
at all.
Their workmanship level has gone down a bit.
That whole the first month of the season, they had so much confidence, and it's gone, and you can tell it's gone, because they're playing like the team last year that struggled to get into the playoffs at times. They're not playing like a team that looks like they're a playoff team like they were for the first month.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Maybe they're, and you know what? Quite frankly, I don't think they did enough to improve. I don't think they did to compete in the division they have to compete in. I don't think they improved.
I think they saw how good they were, and at the start of the season, like, we can't get anywhere. Like, we're not getting anywhere because they're playing so damn well, and they couldn't do anything.
We are 2 points behind Chicago for the wild card.
Okay.
3 points behind Nashville for the other wild card. So theoretically,
what a crazy world is this? 2 points behind Chicago for wild card. Chicago.
The Jets are 3 points out of 3rd place in the Central. So they're not by any stretch out of it.
Oh, okay. So as long as they stay, God damn it, though, it's crazy. Like, remember when the Jets had that crazy 20 games they played and they gained 1 point, for that 20-game stretch. It was right at the end of January to February-ish.
And
they played 20 games. They gained 1 point in ground. It's and they played out of their minds.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Central Division.
The Central Division. What I had a note there for just quarter mark for hockey. It's the Central struggle. That's what it is. If you're in the Central, you can have fun.
Well,
if you're in first now, you could be worst in like a week if you lose like a game.
We'll touch on this when we get to the All-Star game, but can you imagine how good that Central Division team is going to be?
Oh yeah, when they split them.
Oh, or the you know what we got to get there.
Like a mock of like who would make it.
It's so ridiculous. Okay, we got to talk about it when we get there.
So they had.
Wait, Dad, save it.
No,
we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about it.
All right.
It's called a tease, Dan. Learn it.
You could.
Dan,
we don't tease. You even just said we don't tease.
We're trying.
Oh you know that movie Teasers? None in this show.
Okay, quickly go over the Moose game on Sunday.
Moose game. Well, first Moose played on Friday. They lost
Friday.
2-1 to the Condors. And then I went to the game on Sunday, and there was a small toddler child who was standing on his seat.
Child?
And staring at me. He could talk, but like not full sentences that were comprehensible. But anyways, and then he kept touching my knee. He tried stealing my donut. He was looking at me when I was
my nephew? Because I feel like that was something my nephew would do.
No, he was sitting with like old Jeff Bridges. Like Jeff Bridges was there.
You just sat there and took it?
Well, I'm not going to say anything to old Jeff
Why
Bridges.
didn't you slap the child?
You're not allowed to hit kids.
Kidding.
I contemplated it.
Of course you did.
Truth comes out.
Yeah.
So one subtraction from the Moose lineup, Joel Armia got brought up to the Jets.
Yeah. Joel Armia looked the best player on the ice. By
yesterday?
far.
On Sunday.
For the Moose? Oh yeah.
And Nick Patan was
Nick Patan didn't look great on Sunday. But I'm going to attribute that to the fact that it was his first game with the Moose. New line mates, everything. You're not going to like blow the roof off the place. Another guy who stood out for not the right reasons in my mind would be Morrissey. Josh Morrissey played a very sound defensive game. He was great. I didn't notice him. But where you did notice him was he was always one of the guys starting the scuffle. Always. Yeah. Which is good. You want like guys like that. Another great guy on the team who I noticed, who I think for sure should be a call-up, not off necessarily skill, but J.C. LePon. Man, he made noise every time he was on the ice.
Yeah, but they have a Peluso that does that that's doing that pretty well right now. So
of course,
I don't
there you
see
go.
A spot.
Yeah,
definitely.
But I'm very excited to see
agree,
Joel
though,
Armia.
He is a bit of a disturber, which is what honestly every good team has a guy like that. So.
Joel Armia looks great though. I'm excited for him. So that's all I got on the Moose.
Okay, then let's move on to the All-Star game.
All right.
Or do you want to talk about who the guy that wants to come home?
No.
No, we got another super
We're talking about the Jets.
No.
We're super teasing it.
No.
Gregory ruined it.
All right, well, let's jump into it. 2016 All-Star Game is going to be a 3-on-3 tournament.
Okay.
It'll be 3 20-minute games between divisional All-Star teams. The winners take home $1 million cash prize. So I'm hoping they
split it between them?
Split it between the team that wins.
Every team plays each other once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each team is consisted of 6 forwards, 3D, 2 goalies. Fans vote 1 player from each division, and that player will be the captain of their team. And the 40 remaining players will be named by hockey operations.
Okay, they better not do the stupid one player per team bullshit.
Actually, that's the next thing on my piece of paper is
every team has a representative.
Now, Dan, let's jump right into it. Imagine, go to NHL.com. No, they did a mock.
I saw it. They did a mock of this of all the teams.
Yeah. Just think of the Central. Okay.
The Central team, if I'm correct, the 6 forwards were Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, Tarasenko, and Blake Wheeler.
Yeah.
That was the 6 forwards.
But now by having 2 guys from one team, you're going to shaft someone.
Yes.
So listen to the D.
The D were Suter, Doughty, and...
No, it can't be Doughty.
You mean Weber.
No, sorry.
No, it wasn't Weber. They didn't have
Suter. Oh, who was
Here, pull it up. It's fine. We'll get there.
Suter, Yossi, and...
No, it was no one from Nashville.
Yeah,
no, because Nashville's only representative was Pekka Rinne. Which is...
Was it not?
What?
Was it Klingberg?
I think it was Klingberg was one of them.
Then there'd be 3 guys from Dallas.
Pull up the article. It's just... Well, you can have 3 guys from Dallas, but then you shaft someone else.
So, Blake... Oh, okay. So, defense would probably be Suter, Bufflin.
Buff wasn't one of the...
Buff wasn't... Like, the D was like...
Oh, Tyson Barrie was one of them. And it was Yossi, Barrie, and Suter.
I don't think it was Yossi.
Yeah, because there was a big thing about Yossi over Weber.
You can't not have Weber. If you're gonna have like the...
Hang on, I got it.
We're not having Pietrangelo on this team?
He's not an
all-star. Well, I mean, he is.
No, he is in his own right. But hey,
the other guys are...
If Justin Falk is an all-star, Petrangelo's an all-star. But then if Justin Falk's an
So then
all-star,
who are the
every D
goalies?
in the Central's an all-star.
Pecorine and...
Probably Crawford. Crawford, is it just, we've talked about this, I don't know. Crawford is completely average.
He is so
You know why
average.
he's so average? He could be so average because the D in front of him have been outstanding. Amazing defense for the last 5 years. Every time they won a cup. Like, you know what their struggle woe right now is like, I was reading an article, NHL, it's like, Chicago's still searching for that fourth D in the top four. And I'm like, oh, they're looking for D number 4. Oh, because they already have 1, 2, 3. Must be nice.
And then they have... the problem, their biggest issue is Trevor Daley isn't filling the role that they wanted him to fill. He's not filling that Johnny Oduya gap. That's essentially their biggest problem right now, is the fact that Trevor Daley is playing with Trevor Van Riemsdyk on the third pairing, and their problem is that.
They keep retooling. Everyone's like...
That is
like,
the Chicago Blackhawk
oh,
issue.
we signed Viktor Tikhonov and this Russian from Artemi Panarin, but you don't
Johnny
even know about
Oduya is
him.
not-
And now he's leading the league up.
Johnny Oduya is not that good. Trevor Daley should be able to fill those shoes.
Johnny... Is this the black sheep effect because of Winnipeg?
When he was
Dude,
here,
he's pretty solid.
when he was here, everyone, including everybody in this room, shit talked him. Now,
because he gave up the first goal.
now that he went to a good team and the team is doing well, he's a good player all of a sudden.
He's doing great on Dallas.
He's doing nothing.
He's never
He's on
bad.
a good team.
He was
He's
always
on a good team.
man.
He's
He's
never
still pretty
bad.
solid. He wasn't
He's
terrible.
solid, but he's nothing. He's a bottom pair defenseman.
I would take him more over Mark Stewart.
I wouldn't. I would
For the offensive aspect, yes, but Mark Stewart's a pretty smart hockey player in general. Not that Oduya isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, did you find this article?
No, I'm having a hell of a time finding it.
Take it like NHL All-Star predicament or prediction.
Okay, how about this? We save this for later in the season to talk about who we think is going to be. We'll do a mock draft. We'll each take a division. We'll try to get a fourth person in here.
Are we gonna have
and they'll take a
team
division.
Team Swagadelic like last year?
Oh my god!
My forwards are playing goalies again. My forwards are playing
That
goalies.
got out of hand.
What's that?
That got out of hand. I totally forgot about that.
I remember that. That was a rough one.
That was just me and you.
That was insane. That was like an hour and a half podcast. Not that
What
ours
did we
are-
do? We picked our all-star teams, didn't we?
I got schlacked by you because I was just like, I don't give a shit. My forwards are players. Bobby Labango was my third line center. I had like
It made
5
no
goalies.
sense. It made no sense.
We
There
got
we
a
go.
new structure.
Found it.
All right, let us have it.
Central?
Just read the Central. Every other division you could basically,
Okay,
apart
forwards.
from the Metro forwards are tough, but Central in general is just like a gong show because anyone can make it. Anyone's good enough.
Forwards, Taves, Kane, Tarasenko, Sagan, Wheeler, Ben.
Okay.
Defensemen were Suter, Klingberg, and Barry. Goalies were Rene and Allen.
Jake Allen. Okay, so
See,
the only
Rene and
representative for
Allen.
Nashville is who?
Rena.
You're gonna. Leave
I have a
there?
hard press seeing 3 Dallas Stars. I know they all right now deserve to be there, but I don't think 3. You have to keep in mind the
I
fan
think
vote.
Klingberg deserves to be there. That's fine.
The fan vote could be Chris Thorburn because remember who
Zemgus Girgensons.
Zemgus Girgensons
Yeah,
made it last
Latvia.
year. That was
Guys,
Dude!
let's
Yo.
start. Let's
Yeah.
trend it. Let's do it. Get Chris Thorburn as captain of the Central team.
Ooh, you know what though?
God.
Metropolitan team: Ovechkin, Crosby, Giroux, Tavares, Zuccarello, Saad. Oh, they're D or shit. Carlson, Falk, and McDonough. But Lundqvist and Schneider for goalies.
And
But
Schneider?
it's like-
yeah, because New Jersey doesn't have anyone
Well,
else.
like you
None
gotta
of these
think,
teams
like,
are going to be bad, to be quite
No, they're
frank
not going to
with
be
you.
bad, but there's always like, see, with that each representative is bullshit. That's garbage.
They need to get rid of
They're
that.
only throwing in. No offense, Zuccarello.
Okay, who's the Carolina? Who's the Carolina?
Falk.
Of
Justin
course.
Falk. So out of
He is the All-Star. How dare you?
So
How
out of-
dare you?
out of the Central Division, who out of those guys, who would you swap out for someone else?
John Kleinberg for Ryan Shea Weber.
Oh, if it came down to that, no, I'd swap. Oh wait. Oh, damn it, Colorado, because I'd take.
I'd take
Barry.
out Tyson Barry for
But
Shea
you
Weber.
need that one.
Okay,
was
if you-
garbage.
if
Is it pretty unanimous that those are the 6 best forwards in that division, though?
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think there is.
100%.
I
Whoa,
don't
wait,
think
hold
there's.
on.
think there's a debate.
Okay.
Like I guess maybe if
Like McKinnon, I think is
Duchesne,
close.
if Duchesne and McKinnon were having a decent season, they could. But
No,
you
but
look-
we all agree that they're pretty much set for the forwards.
I think that's the forwards. Unless Wheeler gets hurt, there's no way he's not on that team. Like he's playing great right now.
If Buff keeps swinging for the fences, he might.
Sure.
He got a Buffalo shot in the head in practice. For anyone who doesn't know,
Yeah.
I probably didn't feel too good.
I was like, no, I want to see him tomorrow.
barring injury to any of the other like Stars players or to the Hawks players, like Brian Little's making a good case as well this season. He's playing quite well. So
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't like that. We talk about. I don't like that one player rule. That is
I know it's silly.
complete garbage.
So
Do not
It
like
is,
that
but
one.
they
good
have to
player
be
rule.
fair. That's why Justin Falks of the world make the All-Star game.
He is the All-Star now.
It's funny because I was reading
He's
through
actually playing
Twitter.
alright.
I was reading through Twitter with this, and I think it was James Myrtle. It was either James Myrtle or David Alter. I can't remember who it was. And they tweeted how it's time for them to get rid of it, especially with this format. You want to watch the best players in the game. Who gives a flying fuck if your team is there? It's like, yay, our player is there, even though it doesn't deserve. Do I honestly think that a Toronto Maple Leaf deserves to be in the All-Star game right now? Unless James Reimer keeps it up through January, he might be the only guy that deserves to be there. Maybe Morgan Riley. Everyone else
would he beat out?
in the set, well, in that division, so it'd be Price and then whoever else.
Oh yeah.
It's-
If Price is healthy though.
I'm trying to think who's in that.
he's
Anderson,
still been
Howard,
Anderson,
Rask,
well, Mrazek too, though, right? Like they're
Rask.
Luongo. It'll probably be Luongo and Price,
That's true.
I'm totally okay with that.
and probably Morgan Riley on defense.
Tampa, Bishop.
Dude,
No.
have they given? I would give Bishop. Hold on, who's your representative?
No, you got to take Stamkos.
No. Oh no.
Okay, we have to. No, we have to
Yeah,
move on.
yeah.
We'll talk about the All-Star game another time. That's why I didn't want to get into it today, because we could.
One more thing, then.
What?
Can you read me off
No,
the Metro roster?
we just
I
did
lost it.
We just-
Not the
did.
Metro, the one that Florida's in,
the Atlantic.
the Atlantic.
Why?
Because we owe it to this man. It's his number. I guarantee he's on that right now.
He is.
Yager.
Is he? He's
He
one
is.
of the forwards.
Yeah. Oh, he has to be.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
probably the weakest team because they've got Eichel and Yager and
No, that's the team that they'll win it all. They
Yeah,
got Bobby
probably.
Lubango in net.
Probably.
Win. They got it in the bag. Roberto Luongo is amazing in
All-Star.
All-Star games. So is Carey Price. Carey Price was like, watch this. I'm not even going to look and say this. And the worst part about it, it's on Sean Couturier. And Couturier's trying. And he stopped it.
it's okay. This will be like the first time in like 6 years that someone other than Dustin Byfuglien has represented the Jets / Thrashers at the All-Star
That
game.
we know of right now. No.
Well, that's
Would.
true.
Dustin Byfuglien might take that as a threat.
Well, I mean, if he plays,
Who knows?
well, he
Maybe
could be
Connor
one of the-
Hollebuck emerges as a second goalie in the Central. Just dominates from November on.
I'd be okay with that because I'm not okay with Jake Allen at all.
No.
So, nope.
Why?
He's
good.
He's good. I want Jake Allen.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd rather have Hellebuck. Moving on.
Alexander Ovechkin becomes the highest scoring Russian-born NHL player of all time, surpassing Sergei Fedorov with his goal on Saturday night against
Whoa.
Who do they play?
Who's fuck?
Dallas?
No, was it Dallas? Might have been Dallas. All I know is they lost in
What
the
team
game.
is fuck?
Why
had
would
the
fuck Scott Fitzgerald?
John F.
F. Scott John
Why are you
Fitzgerald.
saying F. Scott Fitzgerald? Oh, it's gotta be fuck.
What's he hiding? Ted 2 reference, everybody.
Do you know who wrote the Great Gatsby? Hitler.
Okay, no. Gotta move on.
He's so funny.
Okay, let's go then.
Dude,
Oh.
well, you guys are fucking
Go!
quoting
I'm waiting
movies.
for you to say a subject. Go.
Fuck, are you just... Is it your time of the month or what?
Yes. Yep, sure is.
Jeez.
Oh, boy.
It's been snappy all week.
No, I haven't. When have I seen you?
I phoned him on Saturday.
He
And I was
phoned
like,
me at like 12:30 a.m. and then he's like, "Oh, you finally answered your phone." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I called you the other day at like 12:30." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was sleeping. I have stuff to do." Greg.
No. It wasn't like that. I was like, what? What the fuck do you mean I don't answer my phone? I was at the fucking Jets game. That's exactly how you answered it. And it was
That's
11
true.
o'clock at
But
night.
That's
that's-
a pretty fair answer.
But I didn't tell him he was. I forgot. I thought I told him I was at the Jets game, and he's like, "I didn't know you were at the Jets game." He's like, "Oh, okay, what's up?"
Like, he actually snapped.
You're
I'm
like,
like, well,
oh,
what the fuck, man?
I told you. No, I didn't. You're right. No.
Yeah, I thought I did. I did.
Okay. So, with him surpassing Sergei Fedorov, does that cement him in as one of the top players ever in the NHL?
No.
Yes. First ballot Hall
Just
of
kidding.
Famer.
Just kidding. Yes, of course.
First ballot Hall of Famer, despite whether he... We can all agree he's probably going to hit 500 goals this season.
How far away is he?
He's at like 487 now.
Yeah, he's gonna hit that. He's gonna hit that 500
You
goal.
might have just sealed his fate.
You jinxed them.
Broken leg tomorrow night against the Jets. Thanks to...
Here you go. You know, I'm doing this right now on the podcast. Another Cameron open bet.
Oh, God.
If Ovi doesn't hit 500 goals this year, 12 donuts I will buy of your choice.
Okay.
12 each?
No. That's get easy.
Okay.
And donut holes is what Timbits. No, I'm just kidding.
The donuts.
I'll buy the full 12 donuts if Ovi doesn't hit 500.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like the Nick Bukestad. That was so awesome.
Why did I do Nick Bukestad?
He had to get more than 43 points because that's all the...
49
and he got
points
them, right?
yeah,
that was
scoring the year before.
No, screw it. When Ovi hits 500, we're having a donut party. That's it.
No, I want another DQ Blizzard cake.
When did we... Oh, no.
For the Nick Bukestad thing.
We're trying to get sponsored by Canadian things. Tim Hortons, am I right?
Man, that'd be sweet. The Tim Hortons Last Man In podcast.
And then we could have Sidney Crosby on as a guest. Because
I will drink a coffee every podcast if they bring it to me.
I would love to have Nathan McKinnon on.
If we just plug
I'd love to trade cards with him, and then do you notice when he goes to take it, it's gone? There's no card in his hand?
No, I did not notice that.
Poor editing.
Oh, thank you.
I'm smack talking them now.
This gets interesting.
Go, what? What are we
He has 475 career NHL goals.
Oh.
25?
25.
That's fully confident.
425?
475.
Oh, 475.
So
So he needs 25. Okay.
Yes.
If
Which
you had
is
a
very
Hattie
doable.
every night, how many games would it take to get there? Math.
Wait, that's
7.
That's a lie because that doesn't have this year's already added to it. How many does he have this year?
21?
I think he's got like 10.
So then he needs,
That's
Yeah, I
9
think-
games, Craig.
You're good.
What?
9 games.
What?
7 times 2 is 21.
Yeah, sorry.
I guess
I wasn't paying attention.
It's fine.
I guess we aren't getting donuts this year.
What do
Why?
you mean? You don't think we're getting donuts? Either way, we're getting donuts. If he doesn't get it, I'll buy you donuts, and I just won't eat any. If he gets 500, I'll buy donuts, and we all eat them.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah,
okay with this.
it's a win-win.
Yep.
Everyone
Yep,
wins.
you got it.
I lost a bet, and I had to buy a friend of mine 6 donuts today because fucking Roman Reigns run the WWE Heavyweight Championship.
Okay, we can't talk
He
about
won
wrestling.
it for
No!
5 minutes.
No!
You lost it right after. You should
I
keep
know,
close to bet.
but I
Okay,
still lost.
no wrestling.
Let's talk about hockey.
No wrestling.
Fine.
You
Give
know
us
what-
the
you
rock
wanna-
bottom on what we're talking about then.
You know what the only thing worse than Roman Reigns winning the title?
Fuck that bullshit! Stadium Series jerseys.
You know
Shit!
what- You know what the
What
only thing
about
worse
them?
is?
Are they shit? You're knocking the recorder over, Greg. Why are you so angry?
But I'm not sitting here talking about WWE. We're not fucking WWE
I was just
podcast.
making a reference about buying
fucking
donuts.
To Cam's point, the only thing worse than him winning the title is Sheamus winning the title. And guess what happened?
Fucking Sheamus won.
I don't
Bullshit.
care.
Fine. Let's talk about stuff we don't care about. Go. Talk about the Leafs.
Fuck you.
Boom.
No.
We're fucking boomed. Yes. The Stadium Series jerseys got released.
All of them did.
Chicago, Minnesota's away 2.0 jerseys,
Yep.
and Detroit's jerseys. Have you seen Minnesota's?
Yeah,
They
they're
look
not.
like the reverse color of their home jerseys.
Yeah.
I was not. I really like Chicago's. I like the. Have you seen
They
them?
have so many Winter Classic jerseys right now. It's like, come on.
I'm gonna tweet a link.
They've had
Just
almost as many as Pittsburgh.
Do me
Or
a
if not
favor
more.
and read the write up on the Chicago jerseys because they have like fun stats. It's like, oh, this is for the Chicago flag, and then on the other side, it's like this big black chunk right here is for. We're a city with big shoulders. We can carry a lot of weight. I'm like, who wrote this bullshit? This is awful.
It says it on the jersey?
No, it doesn't say we carry big shoulders. Fucking dumb. No, like
what I thought you
the
said.
that's the reason for like the design.
Oh.
They're like it's all black and a big chunk here because we're a city of big broad shoulders.
We're a city of a big black chunk.
Jesus, Dad.
Wow.
Wow. We're all gonna die now. We're all
Wow.
dead. Oh.
You just labeled us all as racist.
It's fine. Cam slaps babies.
I don't slap babies.
Fantasizes about it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that makes it just as bad, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure.
So, what are your thoughts on Detroit's stadium
They're
series?
nice. I'd buy a Datsuk. Definitely would not buy a Justin Abdelkader.
Hey, it's Mr. Cider. Actually, we've cleared this up. It's Mr.
Why not?
Justin Applecater. He's Mr. Cider now to you.
For those who didn't listen or don't get that reference, last week, pay attention. Listen to it every week.
Yeah, get with it, Mom.
Get with
Come on.
Your mom listens to it? My mom just laughs at me.
No,
No, I didn't think she listened.
I don't have to disappoint my mom more than like twice a week, so she doesn't listen. We're losing it. Are
Okay.
any closing words on these Stadium
No.
Series jerseys? They're nice.
They're
We've seen
nice.
them.
I don't know why everyone thinks
They're
they're
jerseys.
bad. They're jerseys. They're going to make them more money. That's essentially what it's going to
Okay.
None of them are as nice as the Colorado Avalanche ones.
Ooh.
That look like the Colorado Rockies baseball jerseys.
Those are actually nice.
I like those. Someone at the game had one last night.
Touche.
What?
Good for him.
It was nice.
Bravo.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
awesome.
Good for you.
McKinnon
Okay.
too. Like a fully done McKinnon one.
Wow.
The intern.
So I want to move into some trades quickly. Not quickly. What? Why are you?
Who got traded?
I did.
No,
yeah, that's
nobody.
what I'm wondering.
No.
Okay.
Trade rumors. Jeez.
Oh,
Well, follow the same
Like,
rumors
your
after
shit.
trade.
You
No.
can't get a trade.
No.
There hasn't been any trades.
Trade ideas.
Trade ideas. Okay.
Trade ideas.
Armchair GM.
Jonathan Bernier apparently
That's our
might
intro.
get moved from Toronto.
For Zacatecas? Who's getting what?
They-
Who wants Bernier?
No, who is it? Craig Button
No.
did his first quarter NHL rankings for each player on the Leafs because the Leafs are the center of everything on SportsCenter yesterday, and he
Good.
gave Jonathan Bernier an F.
Yeah, because he's been
An
awful.
F.
Suck.
For fuck.
F stands for fuck.
Is that a song?
I
or-
don't know.
What is that?
Please don't be a teacher. A stands for ass.
B stands for bitch.
C stands for Comcast.
Hey, Pittsburgh.
Don't talk shit about Total. Did you finally get my reference?
Yeah.
The Reds guy? Oh,
When he's
yeah.
reading the barcode on the phone. B as in barbell.
My favorite one is when he's in the grocery store and he's waiting in line and he's like, shit, I only have $40. And she goes to take away the beer and the marshmallows. Just like, no, not those. And I'm like,
And he grabs the marshmallows and throws them back.
yeah, he throws the marshmallows back under the belt. All right.
Fuck salt.
All right. What are these potential? Jonathan Bernier. Who's even an open, viable trader? Like the Flyers, obviously, because he's a
No,
goalie.
Steve Mason's been doing okay. It's
Michael
not.
Newberg
It's
as
not that.
Okay.
I think they're just listening to offers right now on him because he's been a perennial backup as I would have predicted when he was traded.
Are
there.
they finally going to be like, hey, James, you know what we should have done 3 or 2? How long have they had Bernier?
This will be year 3.
Yeah. They should have committed to Reimer the whole time. He was the one who got them there to the playoffs. When they did good, it was with Rime time. And then they were like, oh, you know what? You didn't do a good enough job, so we're going to just hire a guy to, fuel your fire.
He let in 3 goals in the last 6 minutes of the game. That
wasn't his fault.
I know.
That was poor possession.
But the
numbers.
goalie always gets the blame.
Yeah.
No, I know, but is that one game enough to blame? But, hire a new goalie? God, I didn't get that.
It's funny because I wish at some point we could have gone back in time in 2010 even.
Okay.
2012, and just fired everybody and let Brendan Shanahan bring in his guys at that point because they would never have made the Bernier deal, would never have made the Clarkson deal, would never have traded Kuhlman or let in MacArthur walk for free, and this team could still.
They wouldn't have bought out Grabowski.
They could have still had a fucking good team. They wouldn't have fucking traded away Carl Gunnarsson for shitty Polak. I can't get into it. My doctor told me you got to keep a low blood pressure or you're gonna lose your shit. And I
Low blood
can't.
pressure, you're 24.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
It was a joke.
Okay.
You don't go to the doctor.
Yeah, let's be honest. I don't go to the doctor.
You haven't had
What's
the
health?
the old
But no, I haven't had the old finger up the ass because they do it via blood test now.
colonoscopy.
Oh no. I don't know why I would ever want that or need that.
Well, we have to, and then when you're
You have
walking
to.
home, it's like because hair's coming at you.
No, but apparently they're open to trading him and they're going to listen to offers if somebody wants to offer something. Because he's
What
not
would you-
working and they seem to be very happy with the production of Garrett Sparks in the AHL as well as Anton Bibeau.
He's come a long way.
However-
played last year for ECHL.
Funny thing, and I was thinking about this yesterday, I was like, if they trade Bernier, they should just try to trade for Ben Scrivens and have the Ben Scrivens James Reimer tandem that they used to have back when James Reimer was in his happy place.
Scrivens was sitting on the bench at the Condors game the other day. Well, the Moose game.
Yeah.
He's not even playing in the AHL.
He's good enough. Just everyone shat on him because it's Edmonton. How do you expect to do well in Edmonton? Look at Cam Talbot. He was so good in New York last year.
He only had to play 12 games a year because he's behind King Henrik.
The problem is these backup goalies come in on good teams and they
Jonathan Bernier
have
LA.
good numbers on good teams because the team is good, and then they go to a crappy team and then they're like, oh, I guess you can't do it on
Because
your own.
they're the guy.
Yeah.
Except the exception to that rule, Martin Jones was that player.
He's Jones and
Yeah, he's playing really well. Same with Mika Kiprusoff. He was the backup in San Jose that went to Calgary and actually played pretty well there.
San Jose makes good goalies.
Yeah.
They used to.
He won a
They
Stanley
don't
Cup.
anymore.
He won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah. No, he didn't.
He won a Stanley Cup.
Mika
What are you
Kiprino?
talking about?
Goddamn goals in the net.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Martin John.
yeah.
We talked about that last
My
week.
heart stopped.
You guys are
no,
just...
we
oh,
didn't.
You guys are over the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
This is a rough one this
This is
week.
a rough...
We're mailing it until the end of the year now. That's what we're gonna.
Yeah, it's...
The next 4 weeks of podcasts will be terrible.
We apologize. I don't know what's going on.
I think we hit our sugar crash like right as we
Oh,
started
yeah,
the podcast.
probably.
Dan.
We actually didn't... I had water instead of a Slurpee. That was the issue. That's the
You
issue.
know what that means? Slurpee from here on out.
Sugar's getting low.
Yeah, sugars are getting low. Okay, let's talk about Travis Hamonic.
I have another
I'm coming
trade
home.
if you want to throw in the fire before. I saw
Oh,
on
the
Twitter.
Ryan Johansson one?
Columbus is willing to listen on Ryan Johansson.
Yeah.
How?
Because John Tortorella. That's my honest opinion. Or because they think he's got an attitude problem. Just look. He held out for how long?
I think he does have an attitude problem because the game that Winnipeg played against them was the game after the so-called Tortorella calling him out of shape or whatever, and Johansson was running around like a goon trying to fight people, and he got his butt kicked, and he got penalties because that's not how he's supposed to play, and he just looked like a.
You think that's him trying to impress Tortorella, or what do you mean?
Maybe it's an attitude problem. I don't know.
Oh, you think it's more like.
Maybe.
You have an attitude problem, and he's like, "Oh, I'll show you attitude problem. I'll play just like how you want me to play."
Maybe I don't
get
know,
it. Okay.
but I mean, he was two-handing guys in the Jets, and you don't see that from him. Like he was.
He's a
It
playmaker.
was very weird, yeah, to say the least. But
who would even be able to facilitate a trade for Ryan Johansson?
what would they want? Would they want a forward or a defenseman?
What does Columbus
'cause
even want? Like they don't have.
Because I think their D is very weak.
Their everything's weak.
Their forwards are all right.
They're okay. Their goalie
should be
pretty good, yeah, but he should be not having the greatest of years.
A team looking for a top six forward, Winnipeg.
Yeah, but a Ryan Johansson top six forward?
That's too much to ask for. You'd have to give up
No,
a guy
but
like Josh
then-
Morrissey.
It's like we've talked about this
we'll
with
talk about
centers.
that.
We've talked about this with centers in terms of what center was made.
Matt Duchene.
Matt Duchene, like where are you gonna?
Where do you put Ryan
Where do you
Johansson?
put Ryan Johansson?
And that's...
Or do you shuffle
Get rid
a
of
little
Andrew
to the
Ladd.
wing?
Get rid of Andrew Ladd.
But they're not.
But that doesn't help the center problem.
No, but even look at the other side for Columbus.
Brian Little's a natural winger.
But he's
Okay,
playing great as a
that's
center.
perfect. We agree. We shuffle him. But what's going back the other way in terms of you can't get rid
Andrew
of
Ladd.
it's an expiring contract. They're not. Why
Well,
would you take an expiring contract?
I'm just saying hypothetically. I'm not saying this is ever good.
Unless they're going to allow the 48-hour window for like Columbus to talk to Ladd.
You'd have to talk to him
and have an agreement
yes.
in place that once
Yes.
you have to sign the papers. And
You would have
sign
to,
it.
but that gives them a veteran leader to play with a very young team.
But that's what they thought they had in Foligno too. Like,
Foligno's not that good.
no, I know. I get that.
He had one really good year, and then everyone.
It's not just going to be Ladd. It'd be more. And
Well,
you know
no,
what?
I
I bet
agree.
your ass they're going to go out. They're going to say, well, hey, you can ask. Obviously, it'd be a no right off the top that we know of. They're going to be like, hey, we need D. You have a plethora of D. Here's a few names. And I bet you the first two names on that list are Tyler Myers and Trouba.
Well,
they're going to ask.
Yeah, of course. Well, we want to throw in the Travis Hamonic thing. That's what the Islanders are asking in return. And the Jets have said no.
The Jets said no?
Yeah.
Because Hamonic asked for
They
a
said-
trade to Western Canada to be closer to family because family
He asked for a
issues.
trade to Winnipeg because he wants to be closer to home for family reasons, but he will also go to Western Canada
Which is
or
Edmonton.
Central U.S.
Okay, so either
But
Minnesota,
Winnipeg
they don't
is
need
the-
D.
but-
They don't need more D.
Winnipeg is the spot that
Okay.
He wants to
is
go
number
to West.
one, and
Edmonton and Minnesota.
Edmonton, Minnesota, Calgary, Vancouver.
Calgary, Vancouver doesn't have the pieces to make that trade happen. In my mind, I mean, I'd be shocked if that happened. Edmonton does have the pieces to make that.
How old is Travis Hamonic?
25.
25. He has 4 years left after this year at $3.8 million a year.
And
Fuck it, Trouba.
No,
Get him out of here.
that's
Get him
awful.
out of here.
That's-
But you already
that's
know what
terrible.
you're getting with Hamonic.
That's terrible because you replace Trouba with Hamonic, and then you lose Bufflin, and you're no better off than you were. Why
How do you
not?
know that?
Why? Because they're not going to sign Bufflin. If they're
Okay, well, no, I propose that you this. That
why not try and get Hamonic to replace Bufflin, and you have Myers, Trouba, Hamonic as your top 3 D.
Because they're not... How... Okay, what makes you now think they're not going to sign Bufflin?
I just don't. I think if they had done it by now, they would have done it.
Well, but they can't sign contracts officially until January 1st. You can talk. Well, you can do that stupid NBA where it's like, oh, I'm not talking about I'm talking. That. January 1st.
I think the price is too much, and I think if they can get Travis Hamonic for $4 million, for half the price of what they have to pay Buffalo.
What are they sending that way, though? That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's the tough thing, because the Islanders have said they want Trouba, which the Jets have said there's not a chance. Or Tyler Myers, which the Jets have said there's more of a chance, but there's still pretty much no chance. So it's tough because
it's a stalemate.
It's a stalemate, and
they want D back.
They want someone as good as Travis Hamonic to replace him.
Oh, so that's why Edmonton.
I'm tossing ideas around like Toby Enstrom. I think his contract's too much.
And they probably have to throw in a pick or for sure a prospect.
They don't want prospects at the moment, but this is going to drag on all year, and I don't think New York is going to get what they want for him. They're going to have to settle for a pick or a prospect. And if I'm the Jets, I package Josh Morrissey as the centerpiece, and I do that trade.
No.
Yep.
And why would you be a no?
Because I think Josh Morrissey has more potential than Drake.
I've watched him play. I don't know. He's pretty tiny. And Travis Hamonic is a big kid. I'm not saying Morrissey won't be good. I'm saying on our team, he's Toby Enstrom 2.0. He's very tiny. I don't think he'll play well in the Central. Travis Hamonic's a big kid who just hits.
Now, what's crazy about, or what I find interesting about this situation is it came out that apparently Travis Hamonic asked for this trade, like dating back to last year. But because nothing's happened, I think him and his agent had warned Islanders, and this is only my opinion, warned the Islanders saying, okay, if you guys don't at least make an effort or like show us something, we're going to go public with this. And now that they've gone public and we're talking about it, the power is in every other team's hands. It is no longer in their hands. Because what's up, like, what are the Islanders, is it like, obviously it's family issues is what he's saying. I hope whatever it is gets resolved and whatnot. But is it something more than that in the Islanders system? Because what is it that one of their best young defensemen, one of the best...
They're calling him their best defenseman.
Okay, fine.
That's what they're
in their words, their best defenseman. Yeah, I would agree with them as well. Their best defenseman wants out of their organization.
It's a personal family matter. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to speculate, but I read an article, and one of the things they highlighted said his dad died when he was very young.
Yeah, there was an article of Travis, or there's a video about Travis Hamonic. He's amazing.
A family member could be sick or something, because it's not very often that someone wants to come play for that says I need to go home for personal reasons, and it's not a short term thing, because if he comes to the Jets, he's here for at least 4 years.
And also, it's
you don't want to speculate because it's personal.
And some guys, it's more than just about money. Sometimes it's like obviously it's about family and friends, but family obviously plays a huge factor in how he wants to go about things. So
but he's also said he'll play the whole year in New York if he has to.
Yeah.
So he's not. I don't think it's a sense he doesn't want to be there at all.
I think he's in a
from
people that are close to him. I've heard the story. I'm not going to say it on the podcast. I know why he's coming back, but or why he wants
to come back.
And it is a personal matter. It's something that he needs to deal with his family. So, now on the prospect of trading Josh Morrissey, I did a quick comparison. Josh Morrissey is not small. He's 6 feet, 195. Very comparable
completely
defenseman.
Average.
Comparable defenseman to Roman Josi, who is 6'1", 205. So, by saying that he's small and Toby Enstrom 2.0, I just disagree with 100%.
He's 5 inches taller. Yossi's 5 inches taller and 10 pounds heavier, though. That's a big difference.
And then,
who? Roman Yossi's 6'1", 205.
He said 6'5".
I said 6'1", 205. Yeah. So that's 1 inch difference, 10 pounds. And so when you're talking about a perennial defenseman in the Central Conference, the problem is Enstrom is small. He's smaller. He's 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
Morrissey he has more skill, more ability. The problem is I think Jacob Trouba needs a shakeup in his own sense, because I don't think he feels too comfortable here, and he's not playing to his potential. The other thing is, I think in the long run, this contract that Travis Hamonic's on for 4 years is going to look better than whatever they signed Jacob Trouba to. Because
he's already looking great. He's one of there's an article on Sportsnet, I'll try and pull it up for you and tweet it, about Travis Hamonic and players comparable to him. He is last on the list of what they're comparing, but players with 300 plus penalty minutes and 100 points in the last couple years. He is 10th on the list, but one of the top guys on that is Dustin Byfuglien as well. Mm-hmm. Not that Hamonic and Byfuglien are comparable like directly on the ice, but when you're in that, when you're looking at this list, all the top defensemen are essentially on that list.
But the other thing too is you bring in a guy like Travis Hamonic. I understand trying. I don't think giving up on Morrissey is a good idea. I know they giving up
Morrissey is better than giving up Trouba.
I don't.
But
agree. we haven't seen Morrissey.
We haven't seen Morrissey because of the logjam. But also,
but if you're gonna give up on Jacob Trouba when he's 21 with the ceiling he has, it's stupid. And
I'm not saying we're giving up on him.
You're asking your team to be mediocre because replacing him with Hamonic and then losing Dustin Byfuglien puts you no better.
But that would open up Josh Morrissey's. You're saying trade.
Okay.
I'm saying
here's my question.
Why swap Trouba for Hamonic when you can probably get all three? Have both.
I don't think there's a possibility to have all three. Or to have both.
Why not?
I don't think so.
What do you think
because I'm sorry, I'm not giving up Josh Morrissey for Travis Hamonic. I'm not. So, because they're different players. Because I want Josh Morrissey to
play with Hamonic.
To play with Hamonic, to be a puck-moving defenseman, to be that first pass. Not that Hamonic can't do that, but it takes the load off of him to be able to do that. A guy like Morgan Rielly is what Josh Morrissey could be. A guy that's the first pass is just electrifying and can skate. And that's what Morrissey has.
Could pan out to be nothing.
Yes, but we haven't seen Morrissey. We've seen Trouba, and we've seen what he could be.
I've watched Morrissey play a couple games with the Moose, and it's not impressive.
Yeah, but it's the Moose.
But you also have to do, as I don't know if we even talked about this, but you have to look at like some players just don't look good in the AHL because it doesn't suit their skill level.
Andrew Hammond had an 851
for goalies. Yeah.
Another thing I will add to this is that you have an all-star caliber player who's saying my number one trade destination is Winnipeg. That doesn't happen. So if you're the Jets, I think you have to go get him.
You
don't have if you don't sign him, you're going to get a lot of heat now. I think.
Is it that bad yet? Because has it reached a fever pitch? Obviously not.
But an all-star player has said he wants to come to Winnipeg. If the Jets can't make that work, what does that say about them? Because
that says about Chevy more than
they have
anything.
a hard time landing big free agents, and they have are attracting players here, and whatever the reasons are, he's a top-level defenseman who's
If you can then, because
it
seems very simple right now to us, but obviously money and future and everything comes into play. In a perfect world, we would just go, if you're that confident in Morrissey and you're that confident in Trouba, Tyler Myers is going to be your guy going.
Well.
And are you okay with pulling the trigger on that?
I'm not okay with that.
No, I'm not either.
I'm not saying that I want to see Jacob Trouba leave, but I think from what you're getting from Hamonic, and it's just because Jacob Trouba's had
of what it could be.
Trouba's had so much issue with injuries. We saw it Bogosian. There's so much potential with Bogosian, but he just never lived it out.
Not Trouba potential.
Just injured all the time.
No, I know, but we all get where we're all coming from.
He's 21. You can't give up on him now.
I'm not saying give up on him, but I'm saying we're turning him into.
You're turning him into what you already know. What you're getting.
Okay, here's the question:
if you get rid of him, you're giving up on him because you don't have him anymore.
Well, yes, we understand that, but
you can't do that.
What you're giving up on, you're already it's a guarantee.
Defensemen don't come into their own until they're 24, 25. Like Hamonic, he's 25 years old. When he was 21, he was very average. I watched him play here when he was 21. But you know what? He's become a very good defenseman.
It's true, but the promise.
I think it's a big
what
mistake.
We're looking for, and what you're looking for, or what you're seeing in Trouba is hope and promise of what might be. With Hamonic, it's there right now.
So essentially,
and with the Jets, they have a squad that
This is the Winnipeg attitude, though, where a guy plays bad for a little bit, and they're like, "Okay, he's done."
I'm not saying I didn't say he was shit by any means or anything like that.
I think he's since the St. Louis game when he had that scrap. I thought he's played very well.
Here's the other thing: you're saying we're giving up on Trouba by essentially saying that you're okay with trading Morrissey. You're giving up on Morrissey, and you haven't even seen him play in an NHL game yet.
No, but you just have to look at how many roster spots we have, and it's not realistic that.
Okay, then who? Okay, let's say you get Morrissey for Hamonic. Who is out of the lineup then?
Well,
who is out of the lineup that night?
I'm saying theoretically, when this trade happens, I don't think Dustin Byfuglien will be around anymore. I think this trade happens at the end of the year, at the deadline, or at the end of the year. I don't think Dustin Byfuglien is around, and I don't think Toby Enstrom is around.
Say if this deal...
They already are allegedly, the Jets are looking for a top 6 forward, and Toby Enstrom is one of the guys they're shopping for that. So, and you know what, maybe it doesn't happen, but I think both those guys are gone when this trade happens.
Say if this trade goes through, you have to, in Dan's eyes, if you have to have an agreement in place already to move Dustin Byfuglien by the time you bring in Hamonic in. Because they both can't... I mean, they sure they can play on the same team. But in this situation, it's not going to work. So you have to already have a deal in place with the other team. Once you acquire Hamonic, Buff's gone. Because you know you're not going to be able to re-sign him. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
If you acquire Hamonic, I can't see them re-signing Buff.
And
it's going to be one or the other.
If you can replace Byfuglien with Hamonic, and you can have Hamonic, Trouba, and Myers on your team...
and then Morrissey would be that.
If you can keep Morrissey, that's great.
Then that's a great top 4 going forward.
I mean, that's fantastic.
But then what's going there?
I'm just saying, it's the only piece I could see them parting with that the Islanders might want is Morrissey. Because I can't see them parting with Trouba or
it's going to be
what about
piece and.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, maybe
it's one of their best players. So
maybe it's a Matthew Perreault in a first-round draft pick. Maybe it's.
I don't think they would do that.
Well, I'm just.
But yeah, I
I'm
know you're
spitballing. It's. I think the Jets will try and ride it out because I think if the longer they wait, the less they're going to have to give up for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really see anyone else having the goods to hand over to New York either. I mean, Edmonton doesn't.
The only other team I thought, in my mind, right off the hop, when you texted me saying Travis Hamonic said he wants to go to a Western team, and basically just named the Western Canadian teams in Minnesota, I thought right off the hop, Edmonton. Yakupov or Eberle. But then it said D, and I was like, well then it's not Edmonton.
Because people have said Justin Schultz, and that's not going to get done.
And it's not going to be Vancouver because Sabisa and Edler, they're old.
They're
older. It's not going to make sense.
Darnell Nurse maybe,
Winnipeg,
but Edmonton's not going to give him up.
No.
So
it's Winnipeg's like the only team. The only other team that could do it.
Minnesota.
No.
Who are they going to
would be Colorado.
Dumba?
Would be Colorado. Oh, and the Minnesota Dumba thing would be interesting, but Colorado could look at this as an opportunity to get him. However, that might be too far west, and it's more of a Midwest team, and give up Tyson Barrie for him.
Basically,
but Barry's on
also,
an expiring contract.
yeah. When I was trying to figure out the family
Islanders have
situation,
said they won't take a pending UFA for him.
Okay.
So,
but you know what? They're being too picky at this point.
Well, that's why the trade hasn't happened. They said they're.
Well, you don't just want to be like, first deal, like obviously.
Well,
they're in a pickle.
The Islanders are in a pickle because they don't want to give him up for nothing because he's their best defenseman, but at the same time, they're being too for the limited amount of teams he wants to go to and for the nature of the situation. And it's tough because the Islanders can't really, they've told him that they will trade him. Just they have to find a trade. They have to find the right deal.
Yeah.
So it's they can't really go to him and say, sorry, we're not trading you, given the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think Winnipeg is going to be hard-pressed not to be the team that, somehow, some way lands him. Whatever that way is.
That'd be awesome.
But
I would not complain having Travis Hamonic on this team.
I don't know.
So now that we've reached the quarter mark of the NHL season,
yeah,
any big surprises that come to mind?
Arizona's still in the thick of things.
And New Jersey and Arizona in playoff spots. That's what I was going to say for me. Dan?
Anaheim's still not doing very well.
Still struggling. I think the only other...
Is Tampa Bay still struggling?
There's scoring troubles, yeah.
But, their record's not good.
Because of their scoring troubles. Because they rely so much on scoring.
They were around where we were.
All right, well, while you're looking up that, any other notes, notable things off this week? Patrick Marleau finally hit 1,000 points.
Yeah, good for him.
Oh, I had an interesting stat. Shane Doan scored a goal against the Jets on Saturday. He's the second player in NHL history to score a goal in the MTS Center and the Winnipeg Arena.
I think I know the other one.
The other one?
No, wait. Greg, you guess first. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to it. Okay, I'll give you a hint.
Jaromir Jagr?
Yep. Right there. Yeah, you just got to think of old players. Guys.
How old is this guy? Has he been around long enough? Really, it's somebody that would have had to have been in the league for the last 19 years.
Yep. That was Jaromir Jagr.
And I remember the goal he scored here. Fucking overtime goal, and he saluted the fans. That prick. You remember? Philly game?
Yeah, I was there! I do remember that.
Good for him.
That was one of the few.
That was before Cameron was a Philly fan, actually.
Yeah, that was year one of the Jets. I think.
Yeah, Cam wasn't a Philly fan at the time.
They were team
He
2,
wasn't
but
a
it
Philly
hurt.
fan.
It hurt because I was wearing my Jet stuff.
He wasn't a Philly fan.
I guess Philly fans are
I
wearing
can't
stuff.
confirm or deny.
I was wearing my Jet stuff for sure that game. I always wear my Jet stuff unless most teams are in.
Really big disappointment is Andrew Ladd. For a guy that wants a $7 million contract,
Not earning it.
no, not even close.
All right. Do we have an election? Because we got.
I wish my phone was working.
Bottom 5. Do you want to pull up the standings, Dan?
From memory, I know that Edmonton's in last.
Well, anyone can tell you that on any season in the last 5 years.
Yeah. To say the least, maybe it's just I'm not on a tangent, but I have not been impressed with Andrew Ladd this year, and I would be very surprised if he is around by the end of the year.
Then you're saying by that logic, then you're saying goodbye to 3/4 of your core, or 3 players that were a big part of your core.
The Atlanta Ambassadors. Mm-hmm. Who's 3/4?
No, 3 players.
Buff,
Enstrom, and Ladd.
Oh, and Buff.
And Buff.
I mean, maybe they'll get these guys signed. I don't know, but like with the way their team is playing right now, and with some of these, I feel like a change is coming. I feel like they're at the point where if it doesn't go right with what they've got, they might
We pull that.
hit the button. Not the complete rebuild,
Yeah,
but
no.
Let's move Bufflin but get something back.
You
let's
got the
move Ladd
shift.
and get something. Like they're going to give him away. They're going to get.
Okay, I don't want to lead
back.
into this conversation, but maybe if they do talk more about this Hamonic, this is it. This is like, you know what? It's time. Let's shake it up a bit. Pull it.
And everybody is saying Nick Patan is a natural goal scorer. Why isn't he in the lineup? Get rid of Andrew Ladd. He gets to play on the first line.
Or at least shuffle open.
Or gets to play on one of the top 2 lines.
Joel Armia. Ooh, the Finnish ace. I hope this works out. All right, let us have it. The election.
Anyways. So, coming in 26, Anaheim. 27.
Fuck them.
Unbelievable.
27, Calgary.
Although they're going to lose half their team because they're not going to be able to
28, Colorado. 29, Columbus. 30, Edmonton.
Columbus could use. I honestly, personally, Columbus played themselves out of a top 5 pick last year. So I would love to see Columbus get a decent player.
American kid. They could use marketing on that. Their advertising department would love that. Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure.
Edmonton does not fucking need another player.
Buffalo is also tied with Anaheim, so you want to throw them as 5B.
It's not even.
Did you know that they have a terrible record when Evander Kane's in the lineup? Buffalo.
Really?
They're like 3-8-2 when he's in the lineup. Without him, they have an over 500 record.
Cancer.
I'm not saying it's him. I'm just saying that maybe they play differently when he's around.
Well, obviously they play differently when he's not around. I mean, they do better than 3-8.
Just looking at the standings, everything is so tight right now.
Well, it's the quarter of the season.
Aside from Dallas, Montreal, and the Rangers, everyone else is... the Jets are 2 wins away from being in the 6th place team in the entire league. And they are currently the 18th place team in the entire league.
It's a much different league than what it used to be. And they've done I gotta commend the NHL. They've done a hell of a good job of making teams equal. And you look at a league like the NFL where it's pretty much the same there as well. There's a lot of equal teams now in the NFL. There are a lot of shitty players now in the NFL. Quarterbacks aren't what they used to be, but it's really
Sam Bradford.
Oh, sorry, Mark Sanchez. Dude.
Don't even give me that. Oh my god.
Okay, well, from all of us here at Last Man In Podcast, we thank you for listening, even though that this was a tough one to get through. We will try to do better the next time. And check us out on Gmail, YouTube, and all that other fun stuff.
All right, see you later, guys.